Hello, my friends. Today is May the 13th, and this is a reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a four-card pull to cover the year to follow. I do psychic readings and I do healing work. Check out my credits below. I can do internet work or I can do in-home service in Albuquerque at my home. This is a four-card pull to cover the year, as I said before. General energy card for the year, challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. This may take 7 to 10 minutes, so bear with me. This is the general energy card of the year. It's the desert. And the desert is, boy, what is the desert? The place where we thirst, the place where we hunger, the place where we feel alone, a place where we feel shut off, often a place where we feel abandoned, and we have a harsh glare of light in the daytime that's overwhelming and hot and blistering and bright, and you can just see everything and all your own little flaws and all your own picadillos and all your own pains and all your old crazinesses, and at night it gets completely dark and it gets cold, and you don't have enough covers and you don't have enough warmth, and you hear all these noises and you're afraid of the shadows. What does this say? It's like it's our unconscious. It's your unconscious. It's those things that you've packed away down inside of you, that often run you. And you're asked to go into the desert this year to really sort some things out, to clean some things up, to look with very bright light at the things that make you feel unsupported, alone, without water, meaning without relationships and friends, and cleansing, without food, without sustenance, without nurturance, without feeling like the universe is giving something to you, without shelter. That how do you hide in the desert? You can't. You're seen. It's usually a flat and a few things, but very bright light. And then there's the nighttime. What are the shadows and the things in the dark that scare you? Well, they're often your own fears. So this is a year of looking at either your own fears or understanding that your own fears and your own work of being in the desert and looking them is here to help someone else. Now, it can go both ways. And this is your particular challenge, May the 13th, folks. Six of Cups. The particular challenge, I think, is heart-centered communion with others who want to share joy, who want to share pleasure, who want to share heart connection, who want to share emotional connection, who want to share intuitional connection, who want to share spiritual connection in the form of love and nurturance and compassion and sense of joy. But that's your challenge, to want to be able to do that, or to be able to do that. Maybe you want to and you don't feel able to. Maybe you're involved but you don't feel like you can give of yourself, you know vulnerably, openly, totally. Maybe you are the one who's creating this space of togetherness, but you don't feel like others are participating. So there is that question, maybe coming from your own wounds that you've looked at in the desert around yourself. Can you understand that maybe somebody or others are feeling down and feeling like they're in their own desert, and they don't know how to share, and they don't know how to be vulnerable, and they don't know how to give of themselves in a circle where people really want to give and receive, share love, share emotions, share connectedness, which is what water and emotions and cups are all about, how we relate to others. So there's a challenge in sharing on some level. Does it come from you or does it come from others? If you have been in the desert, you probably understand what to do about it, and others might need your help. Now, if you feel like everybody else is playing and you're alone and abandoned, so maybe you need to go in the desert and really look to see what are the thoughts that are really, paining you and keeping you from being part of something bigger than just you. What are the parts that say you are involved and connected and joined with others in some kind of communion? Well, here's the action to take card, the links. I love the links as the sense of the secret holder. When people come to us wanting to share something that they can't share deeply with anybody else, and they trust us enough to share some secret that has been maybe painful to them, maybe joyful to them, but some secret that needs to be um, helped with them, and they want an honest uh, person who is willing to hold their secret for them until it's time to release the secret, or until it's time to tell the secret, either back to them or to the world or wherever it needs to go. But that's not up to you. That's up to the person bringing the secret to you. I think someone's presenting you with the opportunity for you to really extend your hand and extend your heart to them, to open to them, to welcome them, to share their vulnerabilities. Maybe you have to share your vulnerability first. Maybe you need to talk about your time in the desert, whatever that means. Your time looking at yourself under bright lights, under scary darkness, when you felt abandoned, alone, without resources, without survival techniques, without anybody around you to help you. Maybe that's what you're bringing, is that gift of sharing that vulnerability so someone else can open themselves up and look at their own pain and come to a better place within themselves. Now, if this is on the other hand, maybe it's time that you need to really share something that's been hurting you, and that will open you up too. You know, sharing that there's a lot of beauty in the desert. There's an astounding amount of beauty in the desert. There's an astounding amount of life in the desert. There's no need to be alone, and there's lots of things you can find to support you in the desert. But it takes a strong person to bring out their desert and share it with another and not feel quite so abandoned. So this is asking for you to find the strength of the links to either bring your courage up and speak your truth, maybe to one other person for the first time ever, and let something sit with them, someone you trust. Let something sit with them, as your secret holder. Now, maybe you are doing that for somebody else. Either way, it's a freedom. It's an opening. It's a connection to something bigger than what you are and what you were before it happened. There's a widening of your psychic abilities, a widening of your emotional abilities, a widening of your spiritual quests. There's so much here this year that can just really lift you up and carry you and take you to new places you've never dreamed before. Maybe it's the easing of your own soul, maybe it's the easing of someone else's soul, but either way, there's two people, probably two, sharing something that's very deep and meaningful for at least one of them, and sharing it so that energy doesn't get stuck and bound in one person, has a chance to open and be looked at and allowed to flower if it's something that wants to come up and open, or at least allowed to be seen, so you can learn how to forgive and find trust and find belief in yourself and find courage in yourself and find love and compassion for yourself. And that's ultimately, I think, what the desert teaches us. It says, if you can love your desert, you're a very well-rounded person. It's easy to love the mountains, it's easy to love the rivers, it's easy to love nature and the greenery, but it's really hard to look at the desert of one's own soul, and feel good about it, and feel comforted in it, you may never feel comforted in your desert, but as long as you allow it to be there and allow yourself to keep bringing your sight and your senses to the desert of your soul, you can keep bringing a little water to it. And nurturance to it, and watering it, and giving some life to it, and letting it bloom some plants, beautiful plants of the desert. Let it bloom some plants in your heart this year. Aho mitakuye.